Alrighty, so as promised, I'm going to do a video looking at all the deals that happened on MLS Secondary Transfer Deadline Day slash deals within the last 24 hours. Now, notice there's actually a huge gap here in the bottom part of the board, and that's because I was expecting there was going to be more deals that's going to be happening in the secondary transfer deadline day. And it's also important to note that just because the secondary transfer window closed tomorrow, it doesn't mean that clubs can't sign anybody that is outside of MLS. You can't sign anybody that is within MLS, but if you're looking to get some players that is from outside of MLS, you can still do so, which hence that's why there's still a lot of transfer rumor regarding those. But we also have some transfer rumors regarding, or not transfer rumor, but in terms of signings that has happened with many clubs that have signed players from outside of MLS and also within MLS. But first, we start off with the Vancouver Whitecaps signing Austrian international midfielder Alexandro, and I believe it's Schripf. That's how you pronounce. I might have just completely butchered that, but they of course signed him from Armenia Biosphere, a club that it's known for MLS players to go to that club, at least during the winter transfer window. But for the Whitecaps, I feel like this is the missing piece that they need in the midfield. I mean, we already know that they have a decent midfielder in Andres Kubas and Ryan Gaul, and in some way Russell Tiber, but also so now that they of course get him in this midfield, I think that would create a perfect midfield with guys like Schrupp, Kubas, and Gaul. That should be a very underrated midfield and could be one that could get this Whitecaps team over the top in terms of being a playoff contender. Now, the New England Revolution have traded Sebastian Lletget to FC Dallas in exchange for $600,000 general allocation money, and it's also important to note that some of the signings I'm about to talk about, I mentioned it in the News of the Week episode yesterday, but some of these signings that I mentioned here is just kind of official and just give you a little bit more detail, because yesterday I only talked about some of the transfer rumors and there's no final detail of how this deal is, and this of course is one of them, with the Revs of course trading Sebastian Lletget to FC Dallas, and that it seems like the price tag is going to be $600,000 general allocation money, which I think that was less than what I said in the News of the Week episode, which again, I think this is a good deal for FC Dallas, because Lletget is a player that it's kind of disappointed that it didn't quite work out with the Revs. We know he can be a decent player in that midfield, and especially with him being a national team veteran. I think for Dallas this should be a very good signing, especially they're starting to follow the formula of trying to get some well-proven MLS talent within their team, and I think getting Lletget will definitely help that midfield for FC Dallas. And again, $600,000 for a guy that's been a proven MLS talent is definitely a bargain to have. Now, RSL have acquired Danny Muswowski in exchange for up to $500,000 general allocation money. Now, the original price is actually $300,000 that RSL basically give to LAFC right now to get Danny Muswowski. But of course, the $500,000 is the performance incentive, and that if he meets all performance incentive, it can go up to $500,000 general allocation money, which, if you're an RSL fan and you'll watch this, you're probably kind of gasping like, oh my goodness, do we just pay like $500,000 for a guy that isn't even a regular starter for LAFC? Well, the answer is not really, because it's only $300,000, and again, I think this is also a decent signing in a way that, Muswowski has been kind of a utility player, especially in that forward group, and that we know that when he did come to LAFC from the San Jose Earthquakes, he definitely lighted up, and that it's kind of unfortunate that there was just so much talent in that LAFC team that as much as he tried to perform in a way to break into the starting 11, he never was able to do so. And also knowing the fact that RSL, when you look at the number 9 position right now, I think they have Cordova as their no, they don't have Cordova as their main number 9. I think he's more of a winger, but they have Rubio Rubin as their number 9. And while I mentioned before Rubin really break into the scene last year, he has kind of been having a sophomore kind of slump this year, and that they desperately needed help after Bobby Wood of course went down with an injury, and I think Muswowski will definitely do so and at least cover that number 9 position until of course Bobby Wood comes back from this team. But overall, you know, the amount that they pay, it's a fair, good amount. And again, he's a guy that can score some goals and get in time, and that overall, I think this should be a very good signing. Now, Charlotte FC have signed defender Nathan Brain, I think it's Brain or Bine or something like that, from Derby County. And you notice I'm wearing Charlotte FC in this video because Charlotte FC is going to be a team that I will mention a lot in this video. They've been very busy in terms of the secondary transfer deadline day, and you know, they of course signed this defender from Derby County. And by the way, this is a guy that last year he was a regular starter for Wayne Rooney team. And it's also kind of interesting that he decided to sign with Charlotte FC instead of DC United, because, you know, with the way that Wayne Rooney is now with DC, you would assume that he's going to really rate that Derby County team, and that this was one of the players that could have been joined with DC and would have definitely helped their back line. But instead, that's not the case. It seems like he's joining Charlotte FC, and again, I expect him to maybe be a regular starter for this team, because, you know, in the defensive department, that's also one area that Charlotte FC is short. Well, to be fair, they're pretty much short in a lot of area, and they're trying to add more quality as the time goes on. And it's also not a big surprise that they're very busy in the secondary transfer window, because we knew that heading into this summer, this front office has to do something and has to make move, or else the supporters are going to be questioning again of, well, you said that we were going to make some summer signings, so where is it? And now it seems like the front office round, well, here it is. Here are some of our signing, of course, getting a new defender. And also, as I mentioned yesterday in the News of the Week episode, they have traded Christian McCoon to the New England Revolution, and they're going to get in exchange for up to around 400,000 general allocation money out of that one. So not bad. I mean, for a guy that is not a regular starter, but more kind of like a depth guy, I think that's a decent amount of money, of general allocation money, that Charlotte FC has. And, you know, for New England, more depth in terms of that back line now that they of course got Christian McCoon. Now, the big story from yesterday News of the Week in terms of transfer rumor is former Barcelona star Ricky Puig, and the fact that, you know, we talked about how he is very close in terms of joining the Galaxy. Well, today it was official. He has now joined the LA Galaxy on a free transfer. Though that being said, one thing that we also found out today is that the Galaxy are moving on from Ryan Revolson, and that they are actually sending him to League Club Axery for up to $2 million. So that's actually a good business for the Galaxy. I mean, getting a guy that we know that he still has a lot of potential left in his career, and also selling a guy that they kind of developed to be a decent kind of player. I mean, I think Revolson is kind of one of the players that just kind of came out of a scene out of nowhere doing, I think, the pandemic era, where all of a sudden we never heard of this guy, and now he's basically a regular starter, and now they decide to kind of move on from him. I mean, you knew that with Ricky Puig potentially coming into this team and getting starter minutes, so there's going to be some of that midfield for the Galaxy that is going to be sell off or drop down the pecking order. And in this case, it seems like he's making way for Ryan Revolson, who's moving to France. And that, again, $2 million, that's a decent amount that the Galaxy, of course, were able to do. And not to mention, you know, when you're able to upgrade that position on a free transfer, and you're also able to sell your asset, that's definitely a very good thing. Now, moving on, and now talk about Charlotte FC once again. They signed defender Alistair Milanda from League 2 side Rodez, and again, this is another signings that I mentioned yesterday, and I think I probably shouldn't have mentioned this again, because I think that deal was actually official yesterday, or is it? No, actually, yesterday in the News of the Week episode, I only said it was a rumor, but this, of course, is now confirmed that is the case. And again, I talked about how this seems like a move for them to replace Christian McCoon, and that he's going to be a guy that's going to be used for more depth and more as a utility player in that defense for Charlotte FC rather than a regular starter like what we see from Brink that they of course signed from Derby County. Now, the Philadelphia Union, who we talked about yesterday, they of course signed a Kenyan player. Well, now they have signed a defender by the name of Abessa Emaya, I think that's how you say it, from a club called MSK in the second tier of the Slovakian league. Now, before you probably thinking, what in the world is the Union thinking about signing just a random guy from a second division tier of the Slovakian league? Like that would be something that I would think the Quakes would, of course, do so. But like I said, there's just something about Ernest Tanner and the fact that he knows what kind of talent, and he could definitely find a diamond in the rough. So I won't be surprised this guy might be a player that they can sell off for profit in the future. Although that being said, he is still relatively young, and that, I think in the first couple of years he's gonna mostly use as depth, because when you look at this Union defense, they already are pretty good in terms of the back line. But again, this is the thing about the Union, and that this is they definitely can find some good hidden gems, especially down in the Baltic region. And we'll see whether or not if he is going to be one of those guys that I won't be surprised in a couple of years we'll hear a lot about him, and he could potentially be sold off for a profit. And then moving on in the next news, we got RSL adding midfielder Brian Ojeda on loan from Nottingham Forest. Now this is one of the signings that I don't really know a lot about this guy. I mean, yes, he did play for Nottingham Forest, but from what I heard, he wasn't a regular starter for this team. And again, I think maybe this is just used for depth again. So anytime when you of course see teams sign a player that are not regular starter, they're probably either using him as maybe guys for utility reason or used for depth, and I think this could be the case for RSL. And then finally, Charlotte FC, of course. I mean, there's a reason why I wear this Charlotte FC jersey, because we're gonna finish off with them signing Portuguese midfielder Nuno Santos from Benfica. Now this is a guy that, even though he was with Benfica, he's been spending on loan in Portugal, and he has found some good success in terms of going on loan, and that there could be a case that he was going to be going back to Benfica and maybe searching for starting minutes, but now it seems like he's actually going to be coming to MLS to join Charlotte FC. And again, we'll see whether if he gets thrust right into the starting 11, especially the fact that I know on paper this looks like a sexy signing for Charlotte FC, because when you get a Portuguese player, and especially a young Portuguese player coming from a team that is well known in terms of developing talent, there should be a lot of excitement, and I think there should be, because again, he is a guy that I think does have some good potential, and we'll see whether or not if he is going to be a regular starter. But that being said, that is pretty much it in terms of all the transfer deadline days and also deals within the last 24 hours. And again, I'll probably make another video similar to that, because something tells me next week I am actually not going to do a news of the week episode, knowing the fact that I am going to Minnesota for the All-Star game, and that doing All-Star festivity, I probably won't have a lot of time to actually do videos. So most likely what I'll probably do for the rest of the week is tomorrow I'll do a video talking about any other transfer rumors or signings that or not just rumors, but just mainly signings that has officially confirmed, and then I might do it again on Monday before I do leave on Tuesday to go to Minnesota. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below what do you think of these confirmed signings, and let me know if there's any other confirmed signing that I haven't mentioned, because as much as I have keeping an eye on the MLS website, that's kind of the only website I've been keeping a track on, and I haven't looked on other website that maybe have confirmed the fact that there's already been a signing that the league website haven't been posted on. But let me know in the comments below what do you think of this video, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.